everyone, greetings from Xerxes IT Training and Projects. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use naive-Bayes classifier to classify a text data. As far as video syllabus is concerned, in machine learning lab, this program fall in the 6th position. Already in my previous video, I have demonstrated you how to use naive-Bayes classifier to classify the numerical data. And in this video we are going to use the same algorithm to classify the textual data. So this fall in the 6th the program. Okay, so let me try to copy the question. As far as the question is concerned, lab program is concerned, so assuming a set of document that needs to be classified, use the naive-Bayes classifier model to perform this task. Built-in Java classes API can be used to write the program. Calculate the accuracy, precision and recall for your data set. So to execute, instead of using Java classes, what I will do, I'll try to use the Python, the programming language. Okay, so let me hover towards the Jupyter notebook. So almost all my programs I have designed using the Python programming language. So click on launch the Jupyter notebook. So you will be hover over to the Jupyter notebook dashboard. So in this, what I have done, I have created one project. If you want to check, okay, if you want to create the project, you go to the new option here and click on new folder and create the new projects. Okay, under that try to put all the test data as well as you can run your Python programming language using the Jupyter the notebook. So already I have created here, and I'm going to use this dashboard to classify the textual data using naive-Bayes classifier. But before that one, I think it's better to have a look on the data. Okay, how the data look like. So later on we'll try to use the same data to classify using the naive-Bayes classifier. As far as my data set is concerned, I have one feature, and this is going to be the target function. Okay, as far as features are concerned, I have around 18 textual data. Okay, and with respect to the target function, which can be a binary type of a data. Nothing but POS stands for positive and NEG stands for the negative. So a lot of processing is required here when it comes to feature data. So I have to remove my stop words, and I have to take only those entities which have certain meanings here. So that can be done using the vectorization technique. As far as the target data is concerned, again it is in the categorical format. So I have to use, or I have to convert this one into binary format. Possession, POS, nothing but the positive, I'm going to replace that one with 1, and negative I'm going to replace that one with the 0. Okay, so what I have done here is, in my Jupyter notebook already I have uploaded the test data under my project folder. So you can see here. So after that I have created one simple Jupyter notebook, okay, to process this data using naive-Bayes classifier. Let's start then. So first and foremost we need the libraries. Okay, so I'm going to use the fundamental libraries which are required to process the data. So first is import. Let me try to import pandas. Let's try to import pandas as PD. Same way I'll try to import numpy also, okay, to handle the numerical data. So in the same way import the numpy also. Hold on, import numpy also. Import, I'm going to import numpy as np. Execute this, shift and enter, execute. It will take little time. Panda is required. Panda contains a lot of libraries, sub libraries, so it takes bit time to process the libraries. Next is, once after the successful uploading all the function which are there available in pandas and numpy, next our task is to upload the data set. Okay, as far as the data set is concerned, to upload the data set, what I will do, I'll try to use the pandas library. But before that one, I'll try to create one variable called message. Okay, under this message I'll try to inherit the functions which are there available in the pandas using PD. PD is an alias of the panda library, and I'll use read CSV function. Okay, so use the CSV method to read all my data which is available in my the data set. Okay, so here again obviously we need to give the name, exact name of the data set. So as far as the name is concerned, okay, I have stored this one in this for the name of the file is ml6 underscore data. Let me try to copy this. Let's try to copy the name as it is, since we need not to give any path here, since all my the Jupyter, the notebook as well as the data in the same folder. So just give the name of the file. Okay, paste it over here. So after pasting the data, I think you might have seen in my data set. Okay, so in the data set there are no labels here. Okay, so X, there are no labels. Okay, even in the target function also there are no labels here. So I need to pre-process the data. So what I will do, I'll try to uh, give the labels, okay, for my independent as well as the dependent data, okay, in the same line. So here there is a method called names. Okay, pass names. Names is equal to, let's say, my x value, which is nothing but the independent data. I'll try to give the name as message, or you can give any name here. There is no restriction that you have to give only the name here. Okay, and obviously my independent data I'm going to call with the name as target here. Okay, so next is I need to pass, I will pass one more the function is called parse date. Okay, parse dates equals to a 0 index. Next, run this line of code. So it got executed. Okay, so if you want to check, okay, how your data look like, so just type the method called type and call your variable called the message here. Shift and enter it. So it will execute. Now you can check here. Okay, it is in the data frame, the format. Suppose if you want to check your data, so you can check the data using just by typing that message variable. So it will display all the data which is available in your CSV file. Have a look on this. As far as this data is concerned, okay, there are 18 the 18 set of data. Okay, and now if you compare this with the data which is in the CSV file, there are no label here. Okay, so I have given the label called message for the dependent data, and for the target function I have given the name as the target here. Okay, next is I need to change this. Have a look on this. In the, some pre-processing is required as far as this data is concerned. First, let's try to focus on the target function. As far as the target function is concerned, so it is in the categorical form. Okay, so I need to perform. So have a look on this. There are two groups here. One is called positive, another is called the negative. So what I will do, I'll try to use label encoding technique, okay, to replace the negative value with the 0 and positive value with the 1. Okay, so message, call the variable called message. Next, call your target. Obviously target is nothing but the target function here. Call the name of the target. So now next is call the message. So I need to replace positive with 1 and negative with the 0. I'll call again the variable called the message. Under message I have a label called a target. Next, there is a method called map. Okay, so using the map you can replace positive with one value, numerical value, and negative with the 0 value. So here I'll try to use the context dictionary technique. Okay, so here inside this I'll try to call my POS. Obviously POS stands for the positive. I'm going to replace that one with the value 1. POS is going to be your key, and the value for that key is here of 1. In the same way I need to do it for the other the value also, that is the negative. So I'm going to replace the negative with the 0 here. Okay, so negative is going to be your the value, sorry, the negative is going to be the key, and 0 is going to be the your value here. Shift and enter it. So again you can check it got executed. Let me try to check, okay, whether I'm able to replace my positive with 1 and negative with the 0 or not. Shift and enter it. So now you can see here, okay, all the positive values are got replaced with 1, and the negative value are got replaced with the 0. Perfect. Now next is I need to separate this data in terms of x and the y value. Okay, so let's try to have splitting of the data, but before splitting the data I need to separate this in terms of x and y. So what I will do, I'll try to create one more new variable called x, and I'll try to store all my message value inside this x variable, message dot okay, so call the label name which is nothing but the message here. Okay, so next is shift and enter it. Okay, so all the data which is in the x variable, okay, so independent data now it got stored in the variable called the x. If you want to check, just type hit on x value and you will see all the data are stored x. Okay, in the all the independent data are stored in the x value now. Understood? If you want to remove this index, you can remove the index also. Next is, okay, so next is, let's try to check the columns here. So I'll try to run, okay, to check all the columns. Obviously I have only two columns here. If you want to check the names or the details of the columns, so what you can do is you just run message.columns. Also it will display all the columns which are available in my data set. So obviously I have two, okay, the columns here, message and the target here, and the data type is the object type of data it is showing now. Okay, so as far as machine learning programs are concerned, if you take nav based classifier itself, okay, so it accepts numerical type of a data. Okay, as far as this data is concerned, this is a categorical type of a data. That's the reason it has shown like the object. Okay, we need to convert this one, we need to convert this the textual data in terms of the numerical data. So for that one I'm going to use the vectorization technique here. Okay, but before that one, obviously how I have separated my the independent data, I have saved the data in x. In the same way I need to save my target data with the other variable. Let's say the other variable I'm going to have y value here. So y message, okay, I'll follow the same method even to store the y value except the variable. Okay, so instead of using the x, I have used y here. Okay, message dot the target. So next shift and enter it. So now you can see if you want to check the data, how the data look like, how the data of the format of the data of y have stored, so you can run print y, shift and enter it. So it will display all the data, okay, of the target, which is nothing but now it is a binary, it is in the binary format, nothing but 1 and 0 here. Understood? Now it's time to split the data. Okay, so to split the data in terms of train and testing, so I'm going to use one more library called sklearn. Okay, so sklearn dot model, use dot model, okay, underscore selection. Under selection, under this method called selection, subclass called the selection model underscore selection, we have the method called train underscore test underscore split. So I'm going to split the data using this library functions. Let this get executed. Yeah, it got executed now. It will execute. Hold on. So after that, once after importing train test split, now it's time to split the entire record. Since I have 18 set of data here, so I'll try to divide this one on percentage wise. So to divide on percentage wise, I'll try to have x of train to train the model, to prepare the model. Okay, in the same way I need x of test also. So I'm going to have x of test, y of, similarly I need to do it for target function also. So y of train comma y of a test. Okay, and follow the same pattern here. So I have used training of x data in the same way. Okay, next I'm calling x of test data after the train data. Same way y of train and y of test. Don't, okay, change it. Suppose let's say x of train you have called, next y you are calling y of train, so that it sends an error message. Okay, follow the same format while splitting the data using train test split. Now next, obviously I need to call my method called train underscore test, okay, underscore split. So once after calling this method, give your values. Okay, so values are my in x value, next we have y value. After that, okay, I'm going to use 20% of the data, okay, for testing. So obviously 80% of the data I'll try to give for to train the model or to prepare the model. Okay, so 80% means 14 records I'm going to give for the training purpose, and rest of the the 4 record I'm going to use for the testing purpose. Okay, so now next is shift and enter it. Okay, it got executed. Now next, if you want to check the shape of the data, just type x underscore train. Okay, x underscore train dot shape, x underscore train dot shape. So it gives the number of records what you have chosen for training the data. So obviously I've used 14 records for training and 4 records for the testing purpose. Hope you are cleared up till here. Now next is as far as the data is concerned, have a look again. I'm repeating the same thing. So as far as the data is concerned, this is a text data. Okay, so we need to pre-process this data. So I have to convert this one in terms of numerical data. Okay, so to convert that one into numerical data, I'll try to use the concept of vectorization. Okay, so a vectorization technique where it try to eliminate all the stop words. Suppose let's say I have I love this sandwich. So there is no meaning of I if you remove this I from the sentence. In the same way, this also, these are called I, and this is called stop words. So I have to remove that because there are no certain actions, okay, as far as this words are concerned. So I need to remove this one. Next, what I will do, I'll try to give the key for love as well as the sandwich. Suppose let's say, okay, I'll prepare one the stack here. So in the stack, I'll try to give love, and I'll try to give the key value as 1 for love. In the same way, wherever you find the love in the other text, so that love word will be having the key value as 1. Similarly, sandwich, I'll try to give the key value as 2. Wherever you find sandwich in the rest of the text, that will get the key value as a 2 here. Understood? So that same thing I'm going to do. Now next, I will convert that one. There is a technique called count to vectorization that itself will take care of all those work. Again, it is present in sklearn. So again, I'm going to import sklearn. Under sklearn, there is a method called features. Okay, so called feature extraction. Okay, feature extraction. Okay, and feature extraction, as far as feature extractions are concerned, we have, so I'm going to process my text data dot text import. Next, import count vectorization. Okay, count vectorizer. So I'm going to run this. Let's see, okay, whether the library will execute or not. Fantastic, the library got executed. Now let's try to use this count vectorization technique to convert our text data to the numerical format. For that one, I'll try to use one variable called vect. Under vect, I'll try to call this count vectorizer. Okay, so vectorizer, call vectorizer. Okay, now next, this you take it as a method here. So that means the complete technique, which are the processing of count vectorization, I'm going to store in the vect the variable. Now next, I'll try to call this vect in the data. Okay, and automatically the count vectorization will take care of all those the conversion. Now next is, I'll use one more variable here called xtrain. Okay, xtrain underscore vect. Okay, underscore vect here equals to called vect. Vect is having my count vectorization now. Dot fit, use dot fit method, fit transform. Okay, so this transform will convert your the textual data to the numerical format of the data. X, since my x training data, it is stored in x of train, so obviously I'm going to use x of 10. Similarly, we have to do it even for test data also. Okay, and remember, okay, we are going to do this one only for the x data, not for the y data, because as far as y data is concerned, already we have converted to zeros and 1 here. Okay, in the same way, just try to replace this x of train with x of test. So I'm going to create two variables here. Okay, one is x of train vector, as well as next one is x of test vect. So again, you pass your test data here to, so I have passed both the x train and x test data. Shift and enter it, it will get executed. Yeah, it got executed. Okay, and it has converted. Now it has converted all your the text data to the numerical value. If you want to check, you can check using vect of get features. Okay, vect of get underscore features. Okay, vect of get underscore feature, next names. Okay, so names, run and execute, shift and execute it. So it will get executed. Yeah, it got executed. Okay, so vectorization get feature name counter count vectorization got executed. Now let's try to display this one. So what I will do, I'll try to create one data frame df, okay, which is nothing but my variable again. PD I'm going to use. PD is nothing but my pandas. Under pandas we have a technique called data frames. So use data frame. Next, call your train x of train, x train of vect, call x train of vect. Let me copy this and paste it over here. So paste here. Next is, after that, okay, there is some technique called, okay, if you want to convert this one in terms of array, there is a technique called to array. So use to array method. Okay, so use to array method here. So next is, in the same way I need to do it even for the test also. So next is, what I will do, I'll try to have the columns, comma, columns. Okay, columns equal to vect, columns equal to vect get features, get underscore features, get underscore features. Okay, underscore names. Okay, underscore names method. Next is shift and enter it. Let's see how whether it will get execute or not. Okay, your text data to vectorization format, just call that to data frame df variable, shift and enter it. Okay, so you can see now, so all your data, okay, it has converted into, okay, in this numerical format. It has taken the words here, single individual words, and it has given some the code. Okay, the machine itself will take care of that sequence of the code. Okay, and I have different code for all the 14 different types of the data here. So it has taken all the individual words, as I told you. Let's say amazing is there, I am is there, beer is there, boss is there, tomorrow, every all those words will have the different the sequence of the code here. Now next is my almost data pre-processing is over now. Now it's time to use or use knife based classifier. Okay, so again what I will do, I'll try to use from sklearn. Let's try to upload my, okay, the knife based classifier. It is available in sklearn. So knife base, knife underscore base. Okay, knife base. Next is import. Under this we have the technique called multi-nominal. Okay, so multi-nominal generally we use for the discrete type of a data, so it fetches the discrete type of a data and try to convert into numerical values. So multi-nominal nb I'll use, shift and enter it. So it will get executed. It got executed now. So that means my Navier Bayesian classifier uploaded. Now it's time to fit my data set with my the algorithm. So what I will do, I'll try to create one variable called clf. Then I will call my method called multi-nominal lb. So let me try to paste this, paste and copy and paste it over here. Okay, so next is, obviously it's going, I'm going to use this one as a method here also. Itself I'll try to fit my the data. Obviously the data right now it is stored where, inside a vector. uh, yeah, it is in the x train vect. So where it is x train vect, yeah, this is it, x train vect. So let me try to copy this and paste it inside the my method called multinomial nb. Okay, so fit, paste it over here inside the fit method. Okay, x train of vector. Similarly you try to pass your y train also. Okay, so I'm not going to pre-process my y train data because already it is in the numerical value. Shift and enter it. So let's see whether my data will get fit. Okay, so it got fit. Now perfect. So now next it's try to predict the value. Okay, or the predict the accuracy. So to predict the accuracy, what I will do, I'll try to use one more variable called predicted. Next you call clf. Clf is having my multi-nominal the nb technique. There is a method called predict, call predict method. Next you pass your test data. So test data, as far as test data is concerned, it is I have stored test data under in this variable called x text vector. Okay, copy and paste it. Copy and paste it over here. Let's try to run. Okay, after copying and pasting that particular variable. Next is, let's see, shift and enter it. Let's see whether it got executed. Yes, it got executed. Now it's time to check the accuracy. To check the accuracy, I'll try to use matrix method. Again, I'm going to import sklearn matrix from sklearn import from sklearn import matrix. Okay, so I have imported matrix method to check the accuracy of my the data. So to check, again I will try to use print method. Print next accuracy. Let's say accuracy of classifier. I'll try to uh, display some uh, text here. Okay, accuracy of the classifier. Let's say accuracy of the classifier. Now next is called matrix method. Matrix dot accuracy. There is a method called dot accuracy Okay, score. Accuracy score. Next is pass your y test data. So to pass the y test data, obviously I'm going to use y test data because my y test data, okay, stored in the variable called y test, and rest of the data it is stored in predicted variable. So predicted variable. Next is shift and enter it. Let's see how much accuracy I'm going to get from this. Okay, it's showing like accuracy of the classifier is 100%, 1. So what I will do, okay, so just to have the variations here, I'll try to use random state. So as far as my test split is concerned, have a look on this test size. I mentioned here 20%. Let's try with 30%. Okay, so I'll try to use 30%. Let me run this. Run. Again run. It has taken 12 records now. Vectorization. Run this. Again run. Again run. Again run. DF also you run. Now you can see the conversion of only 12 records. Next is multinomial. Multinomial NB I'm going to use. It got executed. CLF executed, predicted, executed, sklearn matrix. Next is run this. So it has given me around the 50%. Okay, the 50% of the accuracy. So what I will do, just to have little more variation, so I'll try to pass a random variable here. Random state, random underscore state, okay, equals to 10. I'll give, okay, 10. Again you try to run this random state using random state techniques. So executed, got executed, vectorizer executed, train, yeah, executed, this also executed, yes, executed, df executed, yes. Next is, again I have to execute my algorithm Navier Bayesian classifier. Executed, execute, again execute, matrix executed, and it has given me 33%. We have certain kind of variation. We can do a lot of pre-processing here, and we can achieve, okay, the accuracy up to 80, 85, even the 95% also. Hope you are cleared with this. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, support me. Okay, I'll come up with lots of other the real-time projects. Even we are planning to have the playlist in Julia programming language. Even we are planning for RPA as well as a Tableau for data science. Thank you very much.